here we are at the start of the game. I wanted to show you the restoration process in the western halls. Now, I've been watching a lot of restoration videos because that is my goal as well. I'd like to see Moria restored. Ever since I played the role-playing game called Middle-earth Role-Playing Game by Ice Crown Enterprises a long time ago in a galaxy not so far away. And they have a book, which I recently remembered because I'm getting old, called Moria Dwarven City, and I've mentioned it on Discord a couple of times. I believe that the folks that built this game definitely used it as reference material. I don't know that for a fact, but there is a lot in there that is replicated in the game. And I gotta tell you, I think they did a great job. The book was fantastic. It was a passion of mine. I started running little adventures in there in a couple of game systems, including MERP. Now, Ice Crown Enterprises is long since gone as a company, but you can still find, on a rare occasion, a copy of that book out there, and I definitely recommend a read. Let's talk for a minute about restoration, because I am going through this slowly. Now, I do put a stone here for when people join us. I have a few friends that occasionally join us. And this is a nice area, by the way. If you ever need to come back here, you stone back here. Wood and mushrooms. I did clean up some of the mushrooms, but wood and metal fragments and stuff spawn all the time. And I did not go through here. Building in the very entryway is a little difficult. Not all the spots allow you to build in, so I left some of this alone. But I'll show you the areas where I definitely fixed it up. Just gonna pick up the trash while I'm going. All right, get to the starting area here. First time you meet Auric. I thought about fixing this area up, but the ash floating through the air was just, I mean, this makes it unusable. That it just bugs me. Okay, so this is the area where you would first talk to Auric and figure out where you are, and he tells you you can't escape. And then you dig through here, and this starts the area of my restoration. Now, there's a big wall here and a missing door. I don't know why the door is missing. That's interesting. I'll have to figure that out. But this is a staircase that I built. There's supposed to be a door here. Yay. All right. Well, assume there's a door there. It disappeared for some reason, which we all know happens in this game. And so I built the stairs and this entryway. And by the way, you didn't even notice that I covered over that ravine. Made it seamless to the floor. All right. So then you get into your halls. Now, I did notice a few other videos where people were going in using a mod to remove debris. I have not done that. But I will show you some tips and tricks. Okay. So yeah, these rocks here can't be removed. I did play around with that mod. That mod is dangerous. If you do use the mod to try it, please back up your game. I must have deleted my game a couple of times. It was pretty bad. Alright, so here is the front hall. I know they fixed the lights, but man, the lights are weird some days. Alright. Come in, this is all cleaned up. I put down flooring. I think a lot of people do that. I lit everything up. Now this bridge has been rebuilt. This isn't hard to do, but I did do a little extra. Let's hop down in the water. Ooh, cranberries. I went and used the adamant method to put in the reinforcement at the bottom, and then I used the bases to do a nice filigree on the side, since you cannot match what you see in front of you there, which is unfortunate. I hope they add that into the game. I did take care of all the rock debris down here. Just cleaned it all out. Makes it look less cluttered. Alright. Started restoring the buildings. A lot of hammer work here. This is where your iron hard stout and hobgoblet logger come in. And I repaired it as best I could. Added these doors. Oh, I can't tell you how much I really want those tiles. Anyway, this is all repaired. Oh, I did add the adamant. Now, there's angled adamant roof tiles. They're not shaked with wood like on the original structure. In fact, you can see some of the wood from the shakes poking through from the structure the devs and the artists created. But this was all open. And I've noticed on some buildings in Dwarrowdelft, they use adamant barriers to hold everything up. So think about it as the angled tiles or the angled pieces sit resting on the adamant barriers in the middle, and it does a great job. And that is a technique that I've been using to hold up the roof. And then of course you can overlay wood up there if you really wanted to. So I did restore those. I restored, see over here you can see the shake on top of the adamant. We don't have the ability to do that, but there was one missing, the one right above me there. It doesn't have any wood on it, but I did replace it. I didn't know if this was supposed to come all the way out. If it's supposed to, I could just add 2 more, but I hadn't seen a building like that yet. Oh. Tried to sneak up on him. Anyway, okay, so there's a video online of a person that created a massive base in this area. It's quite impressive, actually. Not sure where you get all of the, how you'd have to memorize that layout. It is quite expansive. I liked it a lot. I played it in slow motion, actually. Now here's a building that was here, obviously, just like the last. Oh, I guess there is 2 pieces on this one. I never noticed that. So I'll go fix that front of that building then. They got the 2 angled pieces. Of course, they won't be just stone. They won't have the shake on them. But I fixed this building up. And then this used to be a mine. It's a mine for everybody. And with earthquakes, the mines can refill, but I didn't want these giant holes in my walls. I thought it destroyed the aesthetics, but I wanted to be able to get at the mine. And so I started off first by taking stone, because I think we could all use up all the stone we have and still want to get rid of more. To build a stone wall, floor to ceiling, embedded in the rock. And so you can see the rock poking through. I couldn't get it to snap in that corner because the rock is just jutting out too far. But it gives a nice texture. And then I built this facade. So this is not a building, it is just a facade. You can see the stone through the windows. So it's granite overlaid on adamant. But I put in a door. And so when the earthquake happens, you can poke your head in here and mine whatever appears here. I think it's usually iron. Not that I need a lot of iron. course, we cleaned up all of the back path there. I took out the remnants of the pillar. I've tried to put a pillar here. Nothing I can do can build a pillar here, by the way. I can just put down the base and walk away and the pillar will fall apart, so I gave up. Here is Ori's camp. Oh, there's a stutter. Of course, I've upgraded a little bit as I've come back through here to sleep and all. And this was what I originally put in to do storage. But, you know, this is, you know, for the starting area is pretty nice. All right, let's go down. Again, clean things up, lit it up. There are two other buildings here. There's this building. All right, another thing that's missing are those roof pieces. Those are single pieces with embedded wood. They're used all over the place, but they're not available for us in the game. And there are versions of them with and without wood. And I removed all the other materials, like this area here, and replaced them. Sometimes I overlay them. There's a crumbled wall here, but it was too dangerous to remove. It was doing too much damage to too many things around it. And there's hidden layers you can't always get to repair, so you got to be very careful. Before I start a session repairing, I save. Now, the window was here, and so I don't know why it's like this. They must model it so it can go in a variety of locations, and figuring if it's butted up against the wall, it's butted up against the wall. And so sometimes I don't bother removing a stable wall. The funny thing is that damaged looking wall is, oh, I missed one. Yep, 3 licks to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Tootsie Pop. There you go. This damaged looking hull actually comes looking like that, but it's 100%. By the way, this area here had a treasure chest in it, and you had to build a scaffold. I repaired the roof except for the missing tiles that I can't replace. You also don't have an option for this border at the bottom, which is a real shame. I would have loved to have used that a number of times. And of course, the horizontal wood would always be useful. Now I built the same facade over here. This is one giant facade over what for me was coal. And I played around with putting dormers. They don't quite connect to the back of the roof appropriately, but from the front they look kind of cool. And so it's a 3-level facade, all lit up with dormers at the top. I'm going to have to continue to refine that. But I also left the door because I want to be able to mine out the coal after an earthquake if it's something to appear. Alrighty, let's go down this way. When I record, sometimes it stutters. It's really annoying. Of course, I play the game and record in 4K. Sounds like an excuse for a PC upgrade. Not that my wife would like that. Anyway, some of the dirt I'm unable to remove. I'm hoping they fix that. It's just not targetable when you get up there. That's a little annoying. Okay, I've given you all a tour of this area before. I have 2 videos on the town I created. And this all connects. I'll remove those doors eventually. Now, this is the area with the smith and the workshop and the apartments and the jail and the garrison. The municipal building here and the garrison. All right, let's go down through here. This is the bar and grill, lots of facades. This is the town hall. I did add a King's Brew tank here. It fit very nicely, and you can climb up there all the way to the top, unfortunately using the rope ladders. In that instance, I'd really like to see the wood ladders in the game. That is my fortress that I first showed you in the Western Halls Fortress. There's an entire Westgate Fortress. There's an entire video on that. There's the inn. You see the replica. This is my take on that brew house that you see over. Mine's a little larger, but it has a little more room. It's a little less cramped. And of course, I have put in facades to fill it out. Must have gotten attacked sometime. When I'm building, I ignore the attacks a lot. They're just, unless I hear the crashing sound of a door being destroyed and it's a troll, I pretty much ignore it. This area cleaned up very nicely. I put a skim of tile on the ground. That ahead is one of Durin's statues. I think the first one we all encounter. This is the area that I was just doing construction. There are 3 buildings here that I have not quite finished repairing yet. I have to use outside scaffolding to do those repairs. And this is the entrance to the Elven Quarter, which I have sealed off. All right, well, that is the way it looks. There is more beyond this, more 2-pillar resource rooms that are going to turn into a town, and I will show you a little more of that reconstruction in a minute. Now I've got to get set up to show you a demonstration real quick of a couple items I wanted to demonstrate. The next tip I have is don't get attacked by orcs or goblins. Hold on a second. Just as soon as I get started, every time. All right, I want to show you scaffolding. So everyone knows, and if you don't, that when you come across a damaged building, if you put a quick platform embedded in it, when you destroy that platform, particularly if you can't see to repair everything, and there are layers to these buildings, granted on top of adamant, wood embedded in things, you can't always see or get to the item that's damaged. You can destroy an entire building by just putting the quick platform there and then deleting it. So it's best not to touch the building that you're repairing, lest looking at it the wrong way will fall down. Now, I like this scaffolding technique. You can judge for yourself, but I use 3 of these square platforms. I top it off with a wood floor, very easy, and then I put, if I had natural fiber, which I don't. Oh, hold on a moment. Okay, as I was saying, and I did go and pick up some rope and did a quick sleep, so put a little more light on the situation. You can put in your rope ladder, climb climb to the top. And there's a stutter. And for some reason, playing and recording in 4K at the same time is not fun for my computer. Okay. So I use quick platforms off the ends. Remember, you can go 3, but don't touch the building. That's important. Now that pillar is at 100%. Oh no, it's not. Okay. Well, let's repair this pillar. Fortunately, you can't repair that. So you can go up here, you can do your repairs that you can't get to on the inside easily. And the beauty, and that crown doesn't exist in the game either. There are other crowns, but not that one. See how there's this little piece that looks damaged there? I don't know. I can't get to it. Sometimes the pieces are 100%. You can whack them with a, it's going to sound weird, but you can whack them with a pickaxe, not the quarry master, and they will change their color to look normal. I don't know why that is. But then of course you can also overlay your repairs. Nope, wrong button, John. Close. Oh, no. See? And now it didn't fall down. I want it perfectly lined up. I wouldn't mind if they made these buildable so they came in sections. So you can vary their height. Be a lot nicer. See, like this one is variable. It has a section in the middle we just don't have. Anyway, I'll have to line that one up later. My point is that once you get this all going, you can easily build these scaffolds, not touch anything, and this is the best part. And for anyone that's put up scaffold in real life, you wish real life worked this way. Ready? And then you just pick it all up. Oh, I love that. Anyway, so there's another tip for doing outside repairs. You can build them inside. It gets a little tight sometimes, but the same thing, and you don't have to go 3 high. And you can build stuff on top of them. It just, it's not always perfectly stable. You got to get it just right. But you can use some of these other scaffold pieces, tall platforms, square platforms. I like the square platforms. You use a couple of those. You can use beams, just like you see in the mining areas. Anyway, be careful not to put those quick platforms. And before you start repairing, might I suggest you save your game. I go in every day, zip everything up in a zip file. And if I've made significant progress, I stop the game, zip everything up, do it again. Just save yourself a lot of heartache. We are in a hall, in the western halls. This area I haven't cleaned up yet. It does go toward an area over here where that cranberry house is, or what I call the cranberry house. It's that house that's in the water at the like this ravine, and there's a ton of cranberries there. And so I always label that. I repair that house, and there's a bunch of hallways that connect here. It's hallways in those 2-pillar resource rooms that I like to build in, that I've been turning into town. And so I want to show you a couple of tips and tricks. And it's something I didn't notice right away, and then once I noticed it, I thought, well, everyone knew this. But when I saw that mod that people were using to clean areas up, and I like I said, I tried using it. It was just scary. I was like, well, why don't you just put down hearts? And I was chatting with the guy, and he's like, what do you mean just put down hearts? And I'm like, well, okay, here is, let me put up a couple of torches here so you can see. Just see a little bit better over here. Okay. So you see these piles of dirt, right? And they're really annoying. And I've actually put in a bug report or feature request saying, can you please get a broom or a shovel? Because if we're restoring Moria, you don't leave piles of crap everywhere. And so I noticed this a while ago. I thought everyone did. Let's just place down a hearth. They disappear. See, they're gone. And then you can get at sometimes you can get at, there we go, the trash underneath them. And I noticed a while ago that there were some trash piles had trash on the top that you could get at, and some piles you didn't. Now, it just so happens sometimes, because the game's a little flaky, if you delete these, those piles come immediately back. Sometimes they don't, but if there's not a hearth here, they will come back. And that's why in one of my videos, I didn't realize in my storage room, my hearth had disappeared. And I'm like, why is all that dirt and bones and stuff back? It's because the hearth, for some reason, either I deleted it or disappeared or something. Which doesn't really happen that often to me. But I thought that was a neat little trick. And then you're like, well, John, you know, that's kind of a pain. I don't want hearts all over the place. Well, that's true. Let's find another area where we can clean up. All right, so I'm going to show you a trick that works for me. You should save your game before you do it. We're going to put a little light on this situation here, just so you can see it. Here's one of those dirt piles right here. You got one right here and one right here. Okay, not as bad as the other place, but you can see the dirt piles, the bases of the statues. So I do this regularly. Now let's look at the map. There's no camp here. See the symbol? There's no camp. Okay. And there's piles of dust. So we're going to take our tiled hearth, and you could do this with other hearths. It's just you're going to push it into the wall, put it down roughly on the ground so it's completely hidden, and you're going to click the button. And you see they all disappear. See? All gone. And you want to do this as centrally as possible. Oh, it looks like I have goblins. Or Alright. Now, you're never going to be able to get that out of there. So it is wasted resources, but, you know, finish the game 6 or 7 times and you'll have plenty of resources. Or create resource worlds go at it. It's not hard to get to the lower depths or the Elven area and get the resources you need. But now for all the area that exposed, it then uncovers the piles of the stuff you can destroy. Now there is damage you can't repair, obviously, on the ground. And always pick up meat when it presents itself. And if you, let me just get a bedroll here. So you see the extent, it doesn't go beyond there, but anywhere the dots are, it will have cleaned up and cleaned up the dust and exposed the stuff under. But you see over here, there's more. And so I didn't really place that one. So here we are, we'll do it again. I want to cover this area. It will bridge between rooms, by the way. There's a bunch of dust and dirt. Oh, this is a real good example. Let's put some light on this. Yeah, I noticed that this happened, and then one day I was putting down a hearth and I sneezed and it embedded in the wall. It's what you get when you have allergies. Anyway, so tiled hearth, again, this does take resources. You put it in the wall, you see the outline, click, and all of it disappears. And it exposes the stuff you can destroy that you weren't able to get to before because it was underneath the piles. Oh, there was metal underneath that pile. Alright. Yeah. Oh, that piece of dirt came off. Sometimes those pieces of dirt aren't able to be removed. Anyway, there's a little tip and trick for you to cleaning up areas and getting them to look nice. I stopped putting granite over all surfaces. I didn't like how it didn't line up properly with the edging. I like the edging. I just wish that the bulk of the dirt would go away, and now the little dirt, the dust I can live with. Where there's damaged floor, I usually put down tile, the granite tile. Anyway, there's a tip for you, little trick, and I hope you enjoyed that.